Hey YouTube, Pixar Prime 10 here with a very large video review today, this time of the Transformers masterpiece, MP-02 Hasbro masterpiece, Soundwave. Yeah, this was originally released as a Takara release only, then Hasbro came out with it here in the US with all the accessories that the Takara version had, plus all 5 cassettes, which in the Takara realm, you had to buy them all separately, so this is obviously a better deal, as long as you don't mind those yellow eyes, but if you get a set from Repro Labels, easily fixed up. You can see we have the front of the box here with a nice big Decepticon logo and Soundwave on there, Toys R Us exclusive. You can see Masterpiece MP-02 for, finally Hasbro's doing the MP and the number thing. You can see it says Soundwave right there. You can see we have a little bio right here that says, behind is his impassive expression, Soundwave is as cold and ruthless as they come. He cares nothing for right or wrong, for the advancement of a cause, or for the welfare of his fellow Decepticons. All he cares about is information, and he acquires it any way he can. He spies on everyone from the lowliest Autobot scout up to Megatron himself. He hoards information the way a miser hoards gold, sharing it sparingly, if at all. No one knows what the true purpose behind his obsessive data collection is, but all fear him for the secrets he keeps. Very, very nice bio. You can see he has a strength of an 8, intelligence of a 9, speed of a 2, endurance of a 6, rank of an 8, courage of a 5, fireblast of a 6, and a skill of a 10. You can see on the back here, you have all 5 of his cassettes consisting of Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, Decepticon Rumble, Decepticon Frenzy, and Ravage. I find it extremely weird that in America, they're not calling the red one Frenzy and then the blue one Rumble. That's usually how it goes in America. That's usually the way it is in Japan. But you can see this is part of the Thrilling 30 line Soundwave. You can see some of the stuff he can do. Flip it around on this side, you can see in the Thrilling 30 line, he's 9 of 30. You can collect them all. So yeah, this is actually right here just a slipcover, so if I were to slide this, you can see some really nice lines right there, that like detailing, Transformers masterpiece. You can see that Decepticon logo kind of finishes on the side, and then on the back here, you have a nice Decepticon logo, which I guess this says MP10, or I'm sorry, 11, because that's what it is in Japan, but I cannot wait much longer, so let me get Soundwave out here so you guys can see him. So here we have Soundwave and all of his accessories right here. So, first, we're going to take a look at the smallest kind of accessories, starting out with his little screen right here. So this screen, all this did come with the Takara version, except these 1, 2, 3, 4 cassettes, and then Laserbeak came with the Takara version, which is why I like this version better. It, honestly, to me, it just has, it's a better value. So here you have his little screen. This pops on the front of his chest, and you can easily recreate scenes from the G1 cartoon where he would, like, show stuff on his chest, and it was very cool. The only thing I wish this had from the Takara version, which this does not, is you could cut out little things from the instructions in the Takara version and put them on here, and, like, put them on his chest so there was an actual screen. I'm sure you can print those out somewhere online, but it would have been really nice if they would have included that. So that's his little screen. Here we have his little Energon cube. Now, obviously in the show, Soundwave would produce empty Energon cubes out of his chest, then they'd take the cube and then fill it with gas, oil, anything the Decepticons could find to make Energon cubes. So this can open up, and I guess if you wanted to, you could put something inside there. And the Takara version had like a pink box you would make yourself, and then you put it in here and make it look like it's filled. I mean, I'm okay with them not including that, but I guarantee there's a third-party company or something that made pink versions of these. And then, this, just as this little screen can pop right onto his chest, so it looks like he's actually producing Energon cubes. I will show that off more in the robot mode of Soundwave. Here we have his little Megatron gun, obviously in the G1 cartoon, Megatron transformed into a Walter P-38 gun with some added accessories. You can see we have I think this is called the, I don't know, this is like the barrel, this is like the scope. This is obviously Megatron's fusion cannon that has it on his arm. You can easily see how that is it. It looks very much like it. This came with, I think, the original MP-03 Starscream, and a lot of other Masterpiece figures can hold this very well. I've tried. But if you want to make this look like a normal gun, all you gotta do is take off all of these accessories. So take that off. Take his little fusion cannon off, and you can really see how much this really does look like G1 Megatron's fusion cannon. They did a very good job with that. Slide this off, I think this is called a silencer, I don't know. And here you have a regular Walther P38 gun. I think this was used by German armies. I'm really not sure. I'm not a gun expert at all. But you can see little Decepticon symbols on there. Definitely looks like Megatron. Very nice gun. I really do enjoy this. When I heard that this was coming with the Hasbro version of Soundwave, I got very excited. So now we'll take a look at each and every individual cassette. And you can see that each one of them does come with a little cassette box with Transformers engraved on the bottom there. So that is very, very cool. Here we have Ravage. We're going to start with, Laserbeak, the leader, or the most classic cassette. So all you gotta do is just open it up, pull them out, and I really do like these. The Repro label sets comes with like covers for these to make it look like character-specific sounds or music records, which is really cool. So set that over there, or I'll put it back on top of Rumble, which the box does call the Blue One Frenzy, but I refer to him as Rumble, so I'm calling him Rumble. Here we have Laserbeak in his tape mode. Very, very cool. What I'm actually going to do now is I'll take all of these guys out, just so I can show you the gimmick with putting them in Soundwave's chest. Here we have all the little tapes. I'll show you each one individually. Here we have Laserbeak. I don't really know which side is upside right. I think this is it. Very nice tape, very compact. I really do love this. Out of my favorite, all three molds, my favorite is the Laserbeak and Buzzsaw molds. My Buzzsaw's a little bit stiff, so out of all these, Laserbeak is absolutely my favorite. He works the best when going inside Soundwave. He doesn't get stuck, and I really think he's just the most iconic, and he really is my favorite. To put the tapes inside Soundwave, it's really cool. You can fit 3 cassettes inside of him at once. So here's Soundwave himself. I'll show him off more in a little bit, but all you gotta do is press this button, and then there's a little thing back here which you can push back as far as you can, and now you can fit 3 cassettes inside of him. So we're gonna grab Buzzsaw and put him inside. He would fit. Sometimes it just doesn't work right. Well, it does. It's just very hard to do because you're always like messing them up. We'll do Ravage. Ravage and the Rumble and Frenzy molds don't fit in that well, and sometimes they do get stuck. But the Buzzsaw and Laserbeak molds work really well. So you can see I have all 3 inside there, and now it's shut. And then all I gotta do is open it up, take it out, and now it's not at the front, but this little button back here, when you push it, you can see Ravage has now jumped forward, and you can see sometimes he doesn't work. Take him out, push it forward again, saw it jump forward, take it out. So that is a very cool feature, one of the coolest parts about this toy, which I really do love. So now what I'll do is I'll transform all these little guys to their robot modes. So, here we have Laserbeak. Again, I've covered him. So, yeah, we're going to set him, and then I'll transform them just because I want to show you each one individually. Here is Buzzsaw, very similar to Laserbeak, just colored. I think everything on here that is red on Laserbeak is yellow on here. Very, very cool. These guys really do come out very nice. So there's those 2. Here we have the Rumble and Frenzy tapes. These 2 I really do like. I like the Rumble one a little bit more. I like the blue more. I do think these do look very nice. They did a very nice job, and one thing that's amazing to me, I don't have G1 Soundwave or any of the G1 cassettes, but in case you guys didn't know, these cassettes are the exact same size, dimension, everything is the exact same size as the G1 cassettes. So you could put G1 cassettes inside this Soundwave, or these cassettes inside G1 Soundwave, which is extremely cool. So there's those 2 little guys, and then we have the loner, we have Ravage, which he is my least favorite of the bunch. He's very, like, there's a lot of gaps back here, and the front of this tape doesn't look very tape-like, but I do like him. I do think the black and the silver is most like an actual cassette tape. But, yeah, they're not too bad. What I'll do is I'll show you how to transform each and every one of these guys to their robot modes. What you want to do for Ravage is take out his head, and one thing that is very cool, this is just amazing engineering, is you actually transform his nose. You actually need to flip out his nose from the inside of his head. If I could just get it. There we go. Flip it out, and now you have Ravage's head. Next, what you want to do is take these arms, unpeg these from here. Okay, like so, and then take his tail out, flip it like that, flip that like that, and then take his legs and kind of get them kind of regular, because we got to move him, and you can arch his back just like if like, I'll show you in a minute, just like how he, like, stalks, I guess, in the show. Ravage, I think, was more of the guy to go out and, like, attack people, but also get information for Soundwave, but he was more of, like, the intimidating, like, I'm gonna hurt you kind of guy. Laserbeak and Buzzsaw were definitely warriors, but at the same time, they're definitely more of the recon spies. But here's Ravage, by the way, in his robot mode, very nice looking. Rumble and Frenzy were more of the distraction, like, cause a distraction, make a ruckus, fighting kind of guys. So here we're going to transform Rumble. So you want to take those up, flip those up like that, and then you want to come to this side because this is going to be his front. Flip that kind of like that. Take this down, kind of pull his leg out. Flip out his little hands. And one problem I have with my Frenzy is that one of his hands is, well, both of them are left hands. The factory messed up, which bothers me. One thing that's kind of cool is this extends to give him a much better look. Come back here, flip out his head, rotate it around, and here you have Rumble. Now, he doesn't have his guns on his back, but we'll fix that in a minute. But I'm gonna not show you Frenzy because I just showed you Rumble, so we're gonna set him to the side, have him transform with off camera in a minute. Here we have Laserbeak. What you want to do for him is flip these up. First, there's a little peg or square right here. You want to push that up with your nail, and then take Laserbeak's head, and then flip that out. Then you can take these jets, flip these around, and I love how these are incorporated in the transformation, these little jets. I think that's very cool. Rotate his feet down, like so. And then rotate that out like so, and here we have Laserbeak, and I'll transform Buzzsaw and Frenzy off camera right now. Buzzsaw in their robot modes. First, we'll compare Rumble and Frenzy. You can see that this guy is silver, whereas this guy is gold. There's red and the blue. You guys can see the main differences. I don't really need to explain them. I can just spin them around. Same exact mold on these two. So, yeah, and you will show you their pile drivers in a couple seconds. Just bear with me. So here we have what's his name? Buzzsaw and Laserbeak. Laserbeak, definitely my favorite out of the two. Definitely more iconic. Love the colors on him a lot more. But I do like Buzzsaw as well. One thing that is very cool about these is, you remember from the movie, Laserbeak had a little camera, the animated movie? Well, he has that here. And I can't really get mine up too much. It's kind of broken. I don't know, but I can't get it up way too much enough to show you guys very well, but you can see that does open up for a little camera, and it does work on Buzzsaw as well, but it's even worse on here, and when I open it, there's something wrong with it. It springs right back down into his head. So, yeah, the articulation on Laserbeak is phenomenal, especially for Masterpiece. He has a joint right here on his neck, and then he has a joint right here on his head. I really do wish I could get him moving side to side, though, so you can get, like, a diving effect. You could get, like, you can get him as if he's, like, perched, or he's just sitting, not working, which is very, very cool. The articulation on these guys is absolutely phenomenal. I do like Laserbeak very much so. Rumble and Frenzy really do have amazing articulation as well. Their head swivel side to side. I guess because of the transformation, they will look up. They have ball joints at the shoulder, as well as a ratchet joint. They bend at the elbow, and their fists move in and out because of the transformation. Their hips are on ball joints. They have two bending joints right there and right there. And then they also bend at the knee. And then they have a ball joint at the ankle. So that's really great. And then Ravage has really good articulation as well. He has a ball joint right here. The joint right here will swivel side to side. And it bends. And then he has a foot joint. This leg has a joint here, here, here. And it moves in and out. And moves forward and back. Like so. So yeah, really great articulation. All of his little cassette dudes. I guess right now I'll show you the pile drivers for Rumble and Frenzy. So what you want to do is, this is like kind of like a holding device to keep them. And if you're not using these for Rumble and Frenzy, you can take these off, and this clip will clip onto Soundwave's arm. You can act like they're cannons of some sort. And then just take these like holders off, and then you can see that you have Rumble and Frenzy's guns stored inside here, and you're not going to mix up who's whose because the pegs are colored for them. So that's that. And they do, of course, go up and down. So very cool. do the same on this part. For the guns, you can see it's an iconic thing for Rumble and Frenzy to have them pegged onto their back like this. But you can take them off, and if you want to use them on their hands, this peg will not work. That's big and fat for their back. For their hands, they actually engineered it so that that peg can flip down, and you can actually use the guns in their hands, which is very cool. But I'm not a fan of using the guns in their hands. I like them more in the back, so I just flip the peg backwards. And you saw how, like, you can get them in and out of the pile drivers, which is very cool how they store in there. They store in Soundwave's feet, but I'm not going to show you that. It's really stupid, because you can only store really one in each foot, so it's really kind of useless. So, here is Rumble, and his pile drivers, for mine, at least, don't stay on very well. So, I'm going to show you Rumble's, Frenzy's instead. But, to do his, what you want to do is you want to take the hands, put his arms like this, flip the hands inside, and you can see he has a left hand, or a right hand, on his left arm. Okay. And then you want to take this, and then put that on there. Really simple, no clicking or nothing. Just kind of slide it on. Friction, I think, helps it stay on. And you can get some really awesome poses with this guy. Just look him up on Google Images. I'm sure you'll find something. But I'm not very good at posing. But you can see they extend, and that is just an awesome effect. I really do love the whole pile drivers thing. I think it looks very nice. I think it's a wonderful addition that they... Well, I wouldn't say they didn't need to include. It's an iconic thing for Rumble and Frenzy. So if they didn't include that, it wouldn't have been good. Put all of Soundwave's accessories aside, it's time to look at the big fella himself, Soundwave. Absolutely amazing representation of his tape deck mode from the G1 cartoon. This is amazing. Got the record battery sign here. You got the backwards, fast forward, play, stop, and record buttons. And believe it or not, these two right here, the left and the right, they do push in, which is very cool. You got right speaker, left speaker. This opens up. Very amazing, just looking. You got the Decepticon symbol on the side here. You got a bunch of plugs and stuff. You got a power on and off switch, which is extremely cool. On the side here, I find this amazingly cool. You have the little port that he had in the movie when he showed Megatron Laserbeak's findings. That is extremely cool. You got a little volume knob, which does go up and down. You got a little earphone jack right there, which I'm sure you can plug actual headphones into. Just pulling a pair I have right here. Sure, yeah, like, they don't actually work or nothing, but I told you that you could just plug in. On the side here, you got more switches and stuff. On the back, you have kind of nothingness. You got these two little guns that represent the batteries from the G1 toy, where his gun's stored in his back. You got his little hand sensor back here, which kind of fills up some of this emptiness, but it is still a little empty, especially when you take it out. And then you can take this, plug this into here, and then you can take the pile drivers and then plug those into here and make an even longer extension plug thing, which is extremely cool. But I'm going to plug this back on here because we don't really need it right now. This just plugs on back there. But this is a very amazing looking tape deck mode. I really do love it. I think it's just really cool to hold. But the sad part is most kids who buy this nowadays won't even know what this is. But I'm not like that at all. I love the olden days. If I could go back and live in the 80s, I definitely would. But this is so amazing looking to me. Besides a few paint apps, I don't think it's much different from the Takara version. I think the Decepticon symbol is darker on the Decepticon, or the Takara version. But you can't really see it too well because I don't have very good lighting. But, excuse me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to transform Soundwave to his robot mode. So what you want to do first, and it's really not that hard a transformation. You just got to take this. I mean, they found a way to keep it simple, but yet satisfy the needs of a masterpiece figure. So take this, put it out like that. Okay. And then take this and rotate this around. Coming around to the front here, what you want to do is you want to take this section and just slide this down, fold it up, and then take these little bits down here, fold them, well, fold this back. Well, it's not down all the way. Fold it down, and then these kind of coil up to make a crotch plate, crotch handle, I really do not know. Take his foot, and then just do that, and that kind of folds up there. Do the same on the other side, and then you can take these just detach, and then you want to keep everything as straight as possible. Press this little button here to, oh, no, it's already extended, my bad. I thought his leg wasn't extended. Take this, fold this down, and then do that, and I need to angle over here, bend this down, and then take his feet and then kind of flatten those out, bend his leg, bend this like this, and then these panels here fold down and peg into the sides of his legs. Do the same on his other side. Okay. I'm warning you guys, this is probably already a very long review. Take his arms, flip these out, and then there's panels on the back of his shoulders. You want to flip it down like so, and then you want to come back here. I just popped off his gun. Flip up his shoulder cannon, flip it around, and then you can get your 2 fingers back here, and then slide. You can see it's not level here. You want to take his torso area. Let's see if I can make that a little bit brighter. There we go. And then take this, push that forward, so now it's all even of kind ofness. And one of his legs isn't right. It's this one. Turn that like that. And then you want to come over to his hands. Flip those out of his arms. Do the same on the other side. And I'm sure people figured out a way to make his original mode in the first episode of G1, but I'm not going to try and do it because I'll probably fail miserably. And then the last thing you need to do is come back here, flip out his head, and that is it. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the amazing Soundwave in his robot mode. What I'll do first is I will show you guys all the accessories that I've shown you previously that will work with Soundwave. So what you want to do, if you want to attach its little screen, is you take Soundwave and you just plop this screen, clips right on there, and now you have a little grid. I'm going to find a way to get those pictures offline. I guarantee you I can print them out. Maybe it's Staples, so they're a little bit better quality than just printer paper. But there you go. And one thing you're probably noticing that many people have controversy over is his yellow eyes. Yes, I do not like the yellow eyes. I want the red eyes, but the Hasbro version is such a better deal. But there is that repro label set for the Hasbro version. I will definitely be picking that up. Probably going to use the red eyes. And there's a lot of other stickers on there that are very nice. And I'm sorry that he's not lit up very well right now. But to use his Energon Cube, if you want to have him hold it or something, that's fine. But if you want to have him producing it, just take this. And sometimes it doesn't hold very well. Yeah, you can see. It's obviously not going to work for me right now. It's not going to work for me, but if it would, this is what it would look like. Soundwave producing Energon Cubes, but mine is a little, something's wrong with it, and it doesn't really hold on. Oh, there we go. So you can see he can produce Energon Cubes, which that is just amazing. Takara, Hasbro, whoever makes these, you gotta give props to the people over there, because they just do such a great job. Articulation-wise, his head will swivel left and right, plus look up and down, same as you'd get with Optimus Prime. Shoulders go forward and back, in and out, and they don't just go in and out on this joint, but this joint also goes out. So that goes out, and then that goes out. So very nice. There's a elbow, or, well, thigh cut, whatever that's called, cut. There's a double elbow joint. His hands swivel. And his hand articulation is these fingers move, and then this one moves individually, and then it also bends at the pointer finger. I think these are the exact same hands as Optimus Prime, or maybe I think the thumb is a little bit different, so you're getting basically the same articulation. Plus you got some, one movement on, oh god, his finger fell off, where'd it go, oh god. One thing that helps me a lot when posing this guy is because of the way his wrists come out of his, because of the way his hands transform out of his arms, his wrists bend in and out, so that does help me a lot with posing him. The legs, you guys have by now heard the whole leg articulation thing, where you can either have it like this, or you can have it like that. If you want to know what that's all about, go watch Optibotimus' review. He does a phenomenal job of explaining it. But the legs bend like that up there at a ratchet joint. and they will bend in and out for some reason, I think for the transformation, and then they bend at the knee, and then his feet have articulation that go out, it goes forward and back, and because he's a little back heavy, and when you have his feet completely back, he bends back a little bit and tends to fall over a lot of the time. So what I do is I take his feet and then kind of angle them forward, like so that it looks like he's going to be like leaning forward, but it keeps him a lot more straight, so I do like it. To use his hand sensor, which I did show off before, you just want to put his hand away as if you're transforming him back. And, there we go. Close that up, you can see it looks like he's got his hand chopped off. And then, I don't know which way it's supposed to go, I'll just assume it goes this way. And then you have his little hand sensor. I don't really remember what episode he used that in, but I have seen the clip, so he did use it. So that is very nice that he does come with that. When people said there was a Hasbro release, they were all like, oh, he won't come with the Takara accessories if he's coming with all 5 cassettes. And at first I believed them, but then I realized, why not? And I said from that day, he's going to come with them. You can see some really nice silver paint apps back here. I'm going to leave the hand sensor plugged in back there. For his gun, you extend the barrel, and then you can take this little handle, flip that out, and then you can take this, flip that out, and then you have G1 Soundwave's gun. Aw, yeah. So a very classic gun. Everyone knows what this is all about. It's his silencer thing. I don't really know what this is called. I just made that name up. But, pegs in like that. And then you can have Soundwave hold it and get some good poses out of him. For his Megatron gun, what you want to do for that is take it, and then you want to take this and slide it down, and then just, there's no clip or anything, you just want to get it in there. If there was a clip, you wouldn't be able to use it on all figures, but I'm not going to bother getting his finger in the trigger. I'm just not going to do it. And you can see that looks very nice. It'll probably work on any of your Seeker molds. Optimus Prime probably works very good, because these are the same hands, I think. And I've tried it. It does work with many other figures, so that is very, very cool. I'll leave that in his hand for now. We're going to take his gun, and we're going to close that back up, because I've already shown that off. One thing that I love is how it pegs onto his back, just like the G1 days of the batteries. Very nice head sculpt. Looks fantastic. Looks just like Soundwave, obviously. One thing that's very amazing is that when you take his little birdie buddies, you can take their feet, and then there's like little grooves on their feet and little grooves on his shoulders, where, I mean, it's obviously not going to look like that. I could get it a little bit better. But you can have his birds either perched on his shoulders or take it, and then there's little grooves on the bottom of his feet, and you can see this little clear bit sticking up on his arm. And then you just take that, shove that into there, and then you can have Laserbeak or Buzzsaw perched on Soundwave's arm, which is just a very amazing looking pose, in my opinion. So we're going to push that back. And then to show off the cassettes going into him in his robot mode, transformed Laserbeak back to his cassette mode. I'll just show you Laserbeak. You can slip a cassette inside of him. You can't really see it, but then you just pop it open, and then you can have Laserbeak eject. An extremely cool feature. I do really enjoy it. So, nothing else I can really show you in the robot mode, besides putting accessories on him now. So, like I said, the pile drivers will just slide onto his arm up there, and then you can take the other one, attach it to the bottom of this, make an even longer cannon, and the cassettes display extremely nicely with this guy. When I put him up on this shelf, every, like, I'd say month or so, I switch up how I display them, just because there's so many different options that you can have. But this figure really is phenomenal. For the price point it's at, it's a little steep. I'm sure there's sales on it for Christmas. I'm sure some of you went out to Black Friday and found some great deals on it. But don't get the Takara version. Definitely get the Hasbro version. If you're that serious about hating the red eyes, just get the Repro label set. So this is a very amazing set. I do really, really like it. It's a very, very quick size comparison. Here you have Optimus Prime. You can see he's a lot taller. Well, you can see Optimus is taller than Soundwave, but that makes sense. Optimus should be taller. I just realized the way I have them just looking right now, it looks like they're mad at each other, and they're, like, looking away at each other. But, there's a really nice, quick size comparison, and I do like how they are doing this new size comparison with these new Masterpiece figures. Now is because I forgot I really didn't do it, is I'll show you how to transform the cassettes back to their robot modes, or tape modes. For Buzzsaw, or the Laserbeak mold, you want to take their wings, fold them up like that, take these jets, and kind of fold them down, fold those down, take his feet, flip those in, flip the wings around, then you just gotta take his head, flip that in, there's Buzzsaw. For the Rumble and Frenzy molds, what you want to do is take the heads, flip them down, take these arms and flip them up like this, rotate in the hands, flip up, or crunch up the waist, take his legs and kind of just get them inside, flip his feet down, and they actually do peg in the feet to, like, the wrists or arms. I'll show you that with this one, but you want to, oh, and I detached his leg. That's never good. And, you just want to take this and get this inside, and then you want to take his feet, and then flip that inside, and then just do that, and then you have Rumble and Frenzy back in their tape modes. And then you want to take Ravage, and then what you want to do with him is take this, take that so straight, and you can display him like this. I think actually sometimes I do display him like that. Take this, kind of separate this just a little bit. You always want to have the tape side facing down. Okay, so you want to have him in a whole fishimal like this. And then you want to take his face, split it apart, rotate his nose back inside, and then you want to take this rotates inside, this pegs into this, and then you got that like that. Someone's gonna kill me by the end of this review, I swear. You guys are probably bored to death, but you guys are loyal fans, so you stick around for the whole review. If you're not loyal fans, you're probably not here right now. But I take this, rotate this around, peg that in, blah, blah, blah. Here we have Ravage back in his tape mode. So we have all the cassettes back in their tape modes now. So now we will transform Soundwave back to his tape deck mode. So what you want to do first, or what I do first, is I kind of straighten everything out if it's not already. And then take his head, flip it down inside. Okay, now you want to take these flaps on the back of his shoulders, flip those up. And then you want to take his shoulder cannon, just rotate that back down. And then, well, before you should have done that or put his gun back on, you should take this, push that back like I showed you to before. On the reverse transformation, take this, flip that down in there, flip it in, straighten out his arms. These will rotate back like so, and wow, that is really, really bright. I do apologize if that's bothering anyone. Take this, rotate these up, and then you want to have them up just a little bit more so they're not straight, and then take his feet, and then they will peg into the bottom of those like that. Do the same on the other side. If I could just get it, there we go. And now he's short and footless, headless, armless. Oh my god, what are we going to do with him? He's not normal. But then, you want to rotate his legs like so. And then you want to bring this up, and then you want to press this little button right here so that you can slide his legs in. And then bring them up. And then peg it into the side. Take this leg and do the same with the button. Slide it in. And then that will just click in. Take this from under here. Little crotch cradle. Fold this out. Put that up inside. Peg that in. And then this part is kind of tricky. Ow. You want to get this in. And there you go. Alright. And then, if anyone's wondering, if you ever saw my intro for So Mungry, this is, in fact, the figure I used for that. So, peg all of this in. and everything looks hunky-dory. And here we have Soundwave back in his tape deck mode. Well, here we have the entire Masterpiece Soundwave set with panning up cameras, all ready to go, just sitting here for the goodbye. But, alright guys, this has been an extremely fun video for me to film. I hope to do more Masterpiece reviews and fun reviews like this in the future for you guys. Sorry this was such a long review, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. The video review of the Hasbro Masterpiece MP-02 Masterpiece Soundwave. I'm so dazed right now. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a great day.